Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad that you're here because tonight we're diving into a massive conversation on the NHL. You know me, I usually do content on the Canucks and the specific division, but tonight we're talking about the entire NHL here. And so tonight's big question: is this new NHL now too soft? Now, I know that for some of you that will trigger you and say, how dare you? And this video is not about the young people today, that kind of video. It's not that at all. I know that these guys all work extremely hard. They sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears and their lives they put their lives on the line. So this is a tough sport, okay? So I'm not criticizing the sport in the way at all of the players, of the coaches, but there has been a shift, as you've seen. There's been a shift, and it just seems like now there is it feels like it's a new style of NHL. Now, the goons have gone, and I know a lot of people are really happy about that, but at the end of the day, the skill set, it's not that I'm not looking for skills, it's just that the way that's set up and the rules, and I want to be careful in even how I approach this conversation, because at the end of the day, we are at the space where I believe in player safety. Okay, so I want to start there. I want to start there for everyone and just kind of talk about that. And I'm all for player safety, but these new standards have become almost impossible to manage. I feel like it's kind of confusing to players and how they can play, what they can do, what they can't do. And it's like, well, everyone's got the same rules, Trev. Everyone's got the same rules. And I get it. But seems like there's a bit of a double standard, and it's made the game a little soft. And it's not that we need the Broad Street bullies today, or like when Gino Ujic went nuts and was fighting everyone on the team and everyone trying, or the Nordiques fans, or the fan went into the bench, and not that kind of, that was wild and craziness. And it was what it was. It was a little bit WWF, WWE style, right? But this is a tough physical game. Split decisions have to be made at high speeds, and the emotions run high. And so I do want to bring that up at the beginning, because the speed and the physicality of the game is tough to slow down and to soften. And it's a place where the adrenaline and emotions run high. Also, there's this real thing about concussions and life after hockey, and I want to appreciate that. And I want to stop and say that the safety is more important than the production on the ice, because it's just a sport, and it is business. Don't get me wrong. It's a business, and it's people's livelihood, and it's just entertainment. It's entertainment, but man, it just feels different. It feels different. And so, as you know, I love making content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. And if you like that kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe. You can also follow me on all the different social medias, right? Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, just follow me on Kempner Canucks. I love doing this kind of content. Passionate, realistic, honest. If you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe, everyone. And if you're on YouTube, you can even donate towards the channel. You can go onto my page near the subscribe, the join, or the community, whatever the button is there. There's maybe you're on your phone. There's a little money symbol. If you want to donate a membership to someone else, you totally can. You can get your own membership. You can do whatever you want. You have all these cool emojis you can use and all that kind of stuff. So, but there's no pressure. Don't do it if you can't afford it. But if you want to give back towards the channel, I'd appreciate it. So yeah, I want to ask the question: is this new NHL now too soft? Is it too soft? And how do we manage the player safety and this high speed game that we love to watch? Now, let's think about this, and then maybe I'll dive into some comments after this or not. But I always go to the comments. So, but think about it this way: this sport, you are given armor. Okay, you've got pads, you got a helmet. Goalies have a lot of padding. You have sharp tools with these skate blades that you use to play this game, and you have to play at a high level. You have to be an incredible skater to play in the NHL. And you have a weapon. It's a hockey stick. And sometimes the guys use the weapons in the wrong way and use the sharp tools in the wrong way and the armor in the wrong way. And you throw that into a highly competitive arena where millions of dollars are on the line and millions of people are watching around the world, and millions and thousands of people are doing podcasts and content, and there's 24-hour sports channels now and places dedicated to the NHL. You add all that together, and it's a little bit of a recipe for, like, I don't know, destruction. Or more like gladiator feel, survival of the fittest. I don't know. The pressures are huge. And have you ever thought of it this way? Like, you know, like I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, we had Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em Hockey. Every year I would look forward to his videos to come out. And man, I loved watching them. I bought every single one, every single year. And not only the highlights and the goaltending montages that he had and all the sounds and all of how he set it all up, but then you got into the hits and then you got into the fights of the year. And it's like, whoa. And it just felt like, it's like, I'm Canadian and I love hockey. And I miss Don Cherry. I miss his personality. I miss his wild takes. I'm a huge Don Cherry fan. And I get that we live in a cancel culture, but what bothers me is that we just cancel the guy that just speaks the honest truth about things. And that's why he was so popular. And then these Rock'em Sock'em videos just went to the next level. And it's like we just loved watching them. I watched them many, many, many times. Miss those. Why isn't someone doing those now? And then I'm watching the Canucks game the other night, and it was Sportsnet. And I love the opening videos, like not just the ones that are in the stadium, but the opening videos on a broadcast. Okay, this is really bright. So on the broadcast, I love these opening videos, and it's high energy, and it's hits and goals and saves and the odd fight, punch or whatever, the tussle, the determination. And the Sportsnet one had Tom Petty. A great Canadian artist, but like didn't even use one of his best songs and tried to do a montage to it. And I'm like, that was lame. They're missing something. And I just literally thought, remember Don Cherry? And even the Hockey Night in Canada, dun, 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 and it's not like it has to be the greatest song, but it's like you knew that was the hockey song. And there's hits and fights and goals and saves and, you know, the grind and the players smile, and it was just awesome, coast to coast. I miss that. And I feel like this NHL is not like that anymore. But then there's moments where it feels like it is. And it, you get into the playoff hockey, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but it feels different. It feels different for me. And I'm not saying the sport's garbage. I'm just saying, or the broadcast is garbage. I'm saying there's just something different. Because, remember the days where you just had to keep your head up? Like we need the stuff like the head-to-head, like the contact to the head. Like we get it. Like what happened to the Lindros brothers is terrible. I mean, number of people who had these massive, crazy collisions. And I like how they have the icing rule, the no-touch icing now. That was a smart move. Don Cherry talked about that. I believe he was pro that. I'm pretty sure he was pro that, because it was just unnecessary race and collisions, and we know that there's going to be things that happen, right? But you got to keep your head up in this game. This game is violent and fun and dangerous and exciting, and yeah. Like, for example, that Susie cross-check to McDavid in the playoffs, I believe it was Zadorov pushing him from behind. That's got to be out of the game, guys. Get that stuff out of the game. You shouldn't be cross-checking the best player in the league or the best player on the team in the face. The Scott Stevens cross-checking Paul Kariya, that needs to be out of the game. So I'm glad that Susie got suspended. Did he mean to cross-check him in the face? Zadorov had pushed him. He went forward. Where he was cross-checking, he probably didn't intend to, but doesn't matter if you intended. You have to control your stick. And when he drove through, I'm like, that's just a bad look for the Canucks. It's a bad look for Susie. He's going to get suspended. We need him in the playoffs. And I hope McDavid's okay. That's literally, that went through my mind. I really hope McDavid's okay, because I don't want him being in the next Paul Kariya and his season's done. I don't want to see the Chris Pronger cheap shot on Dean McCammon. That's awful. You need all, the elbow, the dirty elbow, or whatever it is. That just needs to be out of the game. We're going to talk about a bunch of those things. Post them in the comments, everyone. But that Trouba hit, was it on Barron that happened? People are showing the one angle and saying, this is unbelievable. It needs to be out of the game. It was literally a clean hit. If you look at the angle, it was shoulder to like chest. But it's the way he fell. It was a monster hit. I hope he's okay, that kind of thing. But like, that's why people like Trouba. He plays on an edge. He's there. He works hard. He's intimidating. You can't play soft. You have to keep your head up against Trouba and others in the league, like lots of people in the league. I mean, you got to do that with Zadorov. That's why the fans in Vancouver loved him. When he knocked, was it Evander Kane into their bench and pushed him down? Like, that kind of stuff gets us excited, right? It's fun to watch. It's like, yes, it's something to get excited about. Take that, Edmonton, or whatever. They do it to us and they're all excited. But I don't like the new NHL where it's soft and it's like, if there's a clean hit, you have to fight. This is just the dumbest logic. It's like, hitting is part of the game. Hitting's part of the game. And so I went after this pretty hard in a lot of my other videos, and I just disagree with this new NHL. You get laid out, got to drop the gloves. Why? It's like, just go and score the goal, or go and hit him back, or I don't know. It's dumb to me. It's just dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. And so I actually asked the question on Hockey Night in Canada, and Scott Oak was interviewing Zadorov, and you go over my Twitter, my X account, you can see at the top, I've pinned this conversation. They answered my question on Hockey Night in Canada, and I said, how does it feel when you just level somebody and they get up and they want to fight and they turn around and they know it's you and they're like, they think twice? And he had the coolest answer, and he answered it for a while. And you know me, I'm a huge Zadorov fan. I just love his interviews. I love the way he plays. I love the way he hits. I love the way he competes. I love how he intimidates. I love how he talks. I miss them in Vancouver. You know me, right? Go watch it. Go watch it. It's pretty fun. But one of the things I do, and I'm all for hitting. I don't mind the odd tussle. I don't think there needs to be line brawls anymore. But I mean, they've really discouraged that, right? So it's getting into a good gong show. But these backwards hits, I think, are dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. They're so dangerous. You're both going in, and then you just jump back into a guy and smoke him. Like, I'm surprised there's not many more head injuries. And we see Petey do it all the time. And I know there's lots of people do this, but that's his go-to now. He just goes and he turns and he launches his back into a guy. Like, he doesn't hit properly. I think these are really dangerous. Like, you're both going to the boards and you just stop, full stop, and you just swing back. That's going to be super, super dangerous, right? I think that needs to be out of the game. I don't know how you can police that, and I don't want to say that was too soft, but like, can we just say the over the line stuff, like the McSorley on the Brashear hit, the slash to the side of the face, the Bertuzzi on Stephen Moore when he punches him from behind, and then it ends up his body drives his neck in and broke his neck. Like, all those kind of things need to be out of the game. So I'm not saying the NHL is too soft. It needs to be a gong show. I do think, though, there needs to be, like, just because a guy gets a hit, it's like, now he's getting suspension or a fine. Really? Now, these are suspendable. These are the things that you don't want. And then it all gets ramped up in the playoffs, right? And the playoff hockey gets away with murder. Like, they don't drop the glove. It's a glove and a fist right into the face. It hurts. Sometimes it might even hurt maybe a little bit more than your fist. I don't know. Maybe not. But you get away with murder in the playoffs. Like, after the whistle stuff, after the playoffs, it's like, can you just stop? Guys, just go to your benches and get, like, it's one thing to push a little bit, and the next thing you know, it's like, grabbing guys around the neck, like, it's like, what's going on? This isn't hockey anymore. Remember all the things that the critical. I went to a hockey game, or to a fight, and a hockey game broke out. All those things that people say. Oh, I don't know. I guess it's hard. Where's the balance here? The game has also gotten smaller. Like, the players have gotten smaller and more skilled. I like that. I like that a lot. I think it's good for the game, especially with all the expansion teams having more talent, not just a bunch of goons out there. Maybe that's why I like Bob Probert so much. Because not only could he fight, he could play hockey. Gino, pretty much, it was Goontown, right? I mean, he scored the odd goal. It's pretty exciting. Tiger Williams scored the odd goal. But I'm loving the resurgence of the heavyweight title fights. The Ryan Reeves versus Matt Rempe. I love that. I miss the Brashear days. I miss the Bob Probert days. I miss the, all these guys, and like, who wants a shot at Ty Domi, Stu Grimson, and the NHL is like, there shouldn't be fighting in the NHL. And I understand the argument, but come on. It is weird. Like, it's the only league. It's like, hey, you get 5 minutes for fighting, and you could get a major. Well, the other guy got a major, so it really doesn't hurt your team at all. Now it's like, you get 2 minutes for instigating. Oh no, you can lose the game off of that for sure. Yeah, you get scored on, but most times you kill it off. I don't know. I just love the, like, if I was gonna get another player's jersey right now, I'd go get a Rempe jersey. Well, I don't I like the Rangers, but it's hard as a Canucks fan to wear Ranger gear because they beat us in the Stanley Cup. But man, that Rempe is awesome. I wanted the Canucks to hire or to sign Ryan Reeves when he was available. I think he's the best fighter in the NHL. He's got intimidation factor. That's why I like Zadorov. I like having those guys. I want people to protect our stars. When Naslund got hit, it was awful, right? And what happened? The retribution didn't happen. Stephen Moore, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for Todd Bertuzzi. He didn't mean to do that, but he just got out of hand. But at the same time, Naslund wasn't the same after that. So should fighting be in the NHL? Probably. But it probably shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but I think the fans love it. Fans love it. And I guess I mean, do you follow hockeyfights.com? I do. They're fun to watch. It's good. I don't know. There's so much to talk about here tonight. I want to dive into some of the comments. You guys and girls are so awesome. Thanks for being here. Yes, it's way too soft. Everything you do is a penalty. Bring back the old NHL rules. Maybe there's a better way we can do this. There's a better way we can do this. Hey, Coach Rob Willie, good to have you here. Hey, Murray, welcome from New Zealand. Good to have you again. Players these days are soft. We need the old style game back. I don't know. Are the players soft, or is it just that the rules really negate how it goes? Rome is saying that hockey culture is way different. Players used to police themselves to a large degree. That's true. That's a good point. And there was a code of conduct. I think I actually have that. There's that was one of my banners that I didn't put up. I'm not sure if players of today follow the same code as yesteryears. It's true. Chemo, Rock'em Sock'em was the best, wasn't it? It was the best. Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em. Every year we get it. It's like, can't wait for it to come out, right? Unfortunately, all the sports are coming soft. You know what, Japan 4? I was going to mention that in my monologue there. Is it monologue? Yeah. In my rant there is because in the NFL, you can't even tackle a quarterback anymore. You can't drive him to the ground. It's you know how hard it is to tackle and roll these guys. And I understand that if they drive him to the ground, but you can't hit him below the knee. You can't tackle him here and drive him into the ground. You can't even touch the helmet on a quarterback. That's ridiculous, right? And the LeBron James flopping era that we're in the NBA is ridiculous. And I'm not saying you need the Pistons and the craziness of the Celtics and the fist fights that were going on. But LeBron, can you please stop flopping? You're the king of flop. So you're right. All the sports are coming soft. And basketball is a physical game. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, I got touched. It's a foul. It's no, it's not. These tic-tac fouls are killing the NBA. And I'm not saying no blood, no foul. I'm just saying let them play a little bit. Actually, so you guys know I was just on a cruise for 4 days, Vancouver to San Diego. Flew back, came to the Canucks game, right? Flew in, went right to the Canucks game, and I met a Division I basketball ref. He had ref for 30-something years. He was retired. He goes on all these cruises. He loves it. 6'8", he used to be 6'10", played basketball, then he became a ref. And he said, you know what? He did 26 years of March Madness Division I basketball games. He reffed the Fab Five, the Michigan Wolverines, Fab Five versus Duke with Grant Hill, Hurley, all those guys, okay? He did Kevin Durant's very first game. He said, you know why coaches and players liked his style of reffing and he lasted so long? Is because he did two things. Two things. He was consistent in his calls, and he didn't call ticky-tack fouls. Those down low ones where you just barely breathe on the guy, or it's a little bit of collision. It's whatever they do, blow the whistle, right? So I think we need to protect players. I understand the helmet to helmet. I understand the head-to-head kind of stuff, or the knee to head or the shoulder to head. I understand that needs to be out of the game. I'm just talking about clean hits here, everyone. I like it. I think everyone does too. That's why it's called hockey. That's why it's called football. That's why, you know what I mean? Roberto says, just imagine Pavelbury hit to Churla to knock him out of the series. The mother of all elbows. If that hit was today, he would have been 20 game suspension. And you know what? I agree. That Bure hit was awful. That is a black stain on his career. He's my favorite player, but I totally disagree that he did that. He should not have done that. So, I think now there's too many prima donnas that get millions and don't get checked or get into fights. I mean, I don't need to see Sidney Crosby in a fight. I don't want to watch Connor Bedard in a fight. I don't want to watch Elias Pettersson in a fight. But when JT Miller drops the gloves, I get pumped. Right? When Matthew Tkachuk drops them, or Brady Tkachuk, or you know what I mean? Like, there's some guys out there that's like, whoo, this is going to be spirited, Dell says Boston media is complaining that Zadorov is taking too many penalties. It's because he's an old school player that takes forwards out, missing him. You know what? He also has that height factor, and that's what some of our guys, like, when they hit too high because they're way taller than everyone else, and that's the sucky part, right? Shannon, hey, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. What a blessing. And you're welcome. I enjoy doing streams on the Canucks, and I love connecting with you and others. Thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Dell, like, we've got Sherwood. He's already like on fire for how many hits he gets. It's fun to watch him. That's why he's going to be a fan. He is a fan favorite. You're going to see lots of 44 jerseys in Vancouver. You saw the Bertuzzis. Now you're going to see the Sherwoods in Vancouver. Dell, I would love to see Grogu take out MJ and take back his rightful spot. MJ. That's an awesome one. I love that. That's maybe my favorite one that you've ever done. Personalized says the NHL is definitely too soft. Campbell needs to set a standard and have a minimum 21 game suspension for any dirty infractions over and above the game of hockey. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right on that. But you're going the other way. I'm wanting more hits, more stuff. You're saying, well, I agree. We need all the dirty stuff out of hockey. You're right. I agree with you. Everyone is so soft these days. Yeah, I know. I mean, everyone gets offended. We live in a cancel culture now. It's like, oh, we're going to cancel everyone. It's like everyone pretends like they're perfect. They've never made a mistake. They never said anything they shouldn't have said before. There's no forgiveness. There's just too much. Yeah. It's a weird day, isn't it? Tell them what we grew up with, and maybe what we grew up with wasn't that great. Maybe the good old days weren't that long ago, and they weren't that good. Maybe just because they were so far ago, we just think, oh, those are the days. But I'm telling you right now, someone could make Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em highlights at the end of the year again, and people would buy it. So Shannon thinks that hockey is way too soft. Players are going to get hurt bad and not able to play. Yeah, because what they do, Shannon, is if there's no fighting and there's no allowed to have clean hits, what they do is they use the sticks. They get back at you somehow. The slashes, the whole thing. Remember when John Scott went after Phil Kessel? He used a stick, man. He was like, it was crazy. And I'm not saying that it wasn't justified, because at the end of the day, John Scott was going to pummel him. And why are you fighting Phil Kessel anyways? Wasn't it Phil Kessel? But that was dangerous too. Both of it was dangerous. See, Callum's getting a Sherwood jersey next. Roberto, a lot of people wanted Milan Lucic because he's of his physicality. He's just too slow now, and I don't think he's going to play again. But he had a good career. Every team used to have an enforcer. Opponents respected them for their reputations. So that's the thing. Like, I don't know if we need, quote unquote, an enforcer, but we need a guy that's going to toe the line. So maybe that's an enforcer. I think that's what Zadorov was for us. That's why I didn't want to see him go. Felt like we were more respected when we had a guy like Zadorov. So, Callum, Don Cherry hates you. No, he doesn't. I don't understand what you're saying about that. I love Don Cherry. I think he's great. What do you think of the next few games? What are your thoughts on the next few games? I want to kind of keep it to the topic here, Carol, tonight, but I'll just say, like, I'm really looking forward to the Canucks Penguins game. I'm not going to be able to live stream after because I'm doing a wedding. I'll be at a wedding, but I'll watch the highlights after. I'm very interested. I'd love to see Crosby live. But yeah, I think the next few games are going to be really telling of what this Canucks team is made out of. So, what do you think? Even Grogu realizes he had to fight to beat the dark side. Right? Never forget Ron McLean for throwing Cherry under the... Never forgave Don McLean for throwing Cherry under the bus. Yeah. I don't know. I always think there's room in our hearts to forgive, man. I don't want to be a guy who holds unforgiveness for anybody. Try not to. I need God's help with that, though. Personalized says, don't need old style, need to revamp the structure of officiating, set standards and enforce them at all levels. Refs, NHL office, police if needed, commissioner, and the key is consistency. Yeah. I think there's a lot there that I agree with. Yeah. But boy, I'm sure appreciative of our police officers and our RCMP, and I am thankful that we have player of safety and all these guys. I'm thankful we have refs, that kind of stuff. So still young Jedi and is not fully developed for us. Talking about Grogu, okay. I am an NOCP3 referee for basketball here in Alberta. I did not know that. That's cool, man. That is super cool. Can anyone tell me what did the Calgary Flames win tonight? I have no idea. I hope they lost, but I'm not sure. Maybe someone in the chat. Even Gretzky had sort of, yeah, he fought every once in a while, but I don't want to watch Gretzky fight. Oh, don't worry, man. You can be late. You can watch it later, but it's great to have you here live. Oh, the Flames did lose 4-2 to who? I don't know. Kimo, how much is a membership? Is it monthly? You can gift a membership to someone else, and it's $4.99, I believe. But you can do a monthly membership, and it's $4.99, or there's a next level one that's $14.99. So yeah, it's just $5 a month. But yeah, that's how much a membership is. Kimo, I'll send you a link, and you don't have to give towards it if you don't want to. Like, there's no pressure, but it's kind of fun to get all the little perks. So, plus all those emojis and stuff are fun. It would be in regulation if the score is 4-2. Yeah. Okay. So, Callum says, I thought it was hilarious that there was like 3 times Latvian players in the NHL after hugging in the pregame that they fight. I don't know what I was saying. I'm not sure. Remember these? Chara hitting Pacioretty, Messier taking out Modeno, Stevens taking out Shanahan. I would say Stevens taking out Korea was worse. Dirty, want clean hits. Great example, Zadorov against Oilers last playoff. Keep it clean. I agree. Wow. Yikes, man. Relax. Okay. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching this. If you like this kind of content, please hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate you. Angelo's here. I miss old hockey legend of Doom. Legend of Doom. Legend of Doom? Legion of Doom? No. As Don Cherry once said, no one goes to grab a coffee when a fight starts. Dell, it's a good point. It's a good point. The worst by far is soccer. I agree. It's like they got shot, they get taken out on a stretcher, and they come back into the game. I'm telling you right now, if you come back, if you go out on a stretcher in the NHL, you're not coming back into the game. I call soccer diving. It's so maddening. And I know you can see diving in every sport, but at least the NHL has a penalty for people who dive. Soccer needs that. Flames lost to the Hurricanes. Well, the Hurricanes are good, so. Don't you remember Blueger's fight? I don't remember it. No, I don't. Trevor, if you go shopping at Walmart, can you order a Grogu blow up for your lawn? Really? Is it like a Halloween one, or is it like a Christmas one, or is it just a Star Wars one? Like, yeah, I don't know if I wanted Grogu. My wife would definitely not like that, Shannon. What do you think about the Leafs sort of imploding yet again? Their community team is hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that's concerning. Like, if I'm a Leafs fan, I'm super concerned. And even if I'm an Oilers fan, I know that they're not concerned at all. They're like, we're fine. We're fine. We did this last year. It's like, eventually it catches up to you. I would be concerned. I'd be concerned if I was Nashville and just spent all that money on Stamkos, and here they are, right? So, I don't know. Leafs, Predators, Oilers, I feel bad for their fan bases a little bit, but yeah, Angelo, one of the reasons why Eric Lindros is my second favorite player of all time, because he had big hits. He was skilled, could score. He was a good leader on the ice. I don't know what he was like off the ice, but going to Walmart right now, going to get a Grogu lawn blow up for your lawn. Oh man, that's hilarious. It's like a wacky wave guy, but it's Grogu. Okay, that's funny. Everyone talking about the Flames start, yet we are only 3 points behind with a game in hand. If we win on Saturday and they lose the Jets, we're technically ahead of them already. That's a great point, Jack. That's a great point. Awesome. Well, everyone, I so appreciate you. And yeah, I think this has been a great conversation, a great topic. Just trying to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. So great having you all here. I'm gonna call it a night, but just a heads up, Stuart's predicting that Vancouver's gonna win 4-2 on Saturday night. And thanks, Personalized, for always the encouragement, support. Everyone hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate each one of you. Let's call it a night. And but let's cheer on our team. Let's enjoy hockey. Let's the way they combat. It's just amazing. So have a good evening, everyone. And I should probably turn this off before I hit the outro. But let's end it with a good old Go Canucks Go.